for all that you do.
Thank you.
I wrote this out hoping I would be quick and concise, so I'll just read this quick.
Okay.
5 years ago, I went on a trip to Italy, and in our rental car, we drove to Florence. There was an area near the city center that said authorized traffic only, so when we came to the barrier for it, I don't recall why I didn't back up, other than the street was narrow, but I made a U-turn around the barrier. Later after our trip, I got a ticket mailed to me from Italy for something like 200 euros. I tried calling to explain to get out of it, but I wasn't able to talk to anybody, so I decided to ignore it. Now it's 5 years later, and we suddenly got a letter from a collector asking for $430, and apparently there are actually 2 tickets, but I don't know where the second offense occurred because I wasn't aware at the time that we did this twice. So I didn't know about the second one till now, but the total between the 2 tickets is $860 with the collector. Mm-hmm. Because I don't really feel like these tickets are valid based on what happened, I don't want to pay them, but now that they're with collections, I think it's too late for me to try to work with the Italian police to get rid of them. So I wanted your advice on whether this is the same type of collections that you talk about where I can offer a lump sum to get rid of both debts. And my questions basically are whether or not that's possible, how much you think I should offer, and also if there's any need for me to worry about this being on my credit report. My credit's currently good, but my husband and I are working on baby step 6, and we ultimately plan on having a 0 credit score and buying our next home with cash. So can I ask the credit or the collector not to report them, or is it something I shouldn't worry about because we don't have a plan on costing our next house purchase would be?
I don't know what has happened here, but I smell a rat. Okay. They're in the credit card world, which is not what we're talking about. But in the credit card world, if you have an old credit card debt, the banks sell those off for 3 to 5 cents on the dollar. So $50 for $1,000.
Right.
And these debt buyers buy these things, and they oftentimes, there's been several articles out, they'll try to collect on a debt that's actually been bankrupted, which is illegal to try to collect on a bankrupted debt. They'll try to collect on a debt that's outside the statute of limitations. And they're buying junk debt, is what it amounts to. And then they just go after people, and rather than deal with the hassle of it and the fear that it's going to be on their credit bureau report, people pay them something when they shouldn't have to, because it was bankrupted, and the balance is 0 after bankruptcy. So I'm not saying any of that applies here, except that this feels like one of those people. This feels like a debt buyer buying junk debt from tickets in Italy. I mean, my God, from 5 years ago? Right. I mean, really? So I honestly don't know anything about the law on it. Hypothetically, anybody can pop something onto your credit bureau report. I suspect that there's a statute of limitations on this. I suspect the chance of them collecting internationally on you is almost 0. I suspect you probably could beat the snot out of these guys. And so, what is your household income?
It's $155,000. So it's not that we can't pay
I know,
it.
that wasn't what I was asking. What I was trying to determine is if you wanted to fight, could you afford it? Because if it was me right now and that happened, I would call my attorney and give him a couple $100 and tell him to pound these people into sand. Because I smell a rat. I think this is a skunk. I don't think there were 2 tickets. I think there was 1. And I think they're trying to load you up and just see what happened, see what they can get away with. I smell a quasi-con.
Yeah, I did email the, I called first, and then the guy I gave him my email address because he was going to send me evidence of the second ticket, because I called and said, I don't know why there's 2. Did he? Yes, he did. There are pictures, apparently, that he got from, I guess, the Italian police with the license plate of the car at, 15 minutes apart. But like I said, I don't know where the second thing happened and how we didn't notice. But there's also, because they had sent me, certified mail and stuff.
I'm almost positive you're not dealing with the Italian government.
No, this is actually a collections agency.
Well, they're a collections agency that bought this debt.
Yeah.
They're a debt buyer, like I'm talking about. They're a bottom feeder.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
And so in that case, they probably have $15 in this. That's what I'm saying. So yeah, I'd offer if you want to pound them. It sounds like they've got a little bit of evidence. I don't know if statute of limitations is run or not. If you want to fool with it, you can, or you could just say, "I'll give you $100."
Okay,
but there's
that's kind of about the amount I was thinking.
Yeah, there's no possible way I'm giving them $800.
Yeah,
just on principle.
Right.
I'm gonna spend $1,000 to not give them $800.
I was thinking about, whether or not I should get any sort of lawyer involved, but it seems like I thought I'd probably end up spending more on a lawyer.
You will. Yeah. You will. But it's just I'm just hillbilly. I like a good fight. So, that's what it comes down to. And so I just can't stand somebody screwing me around, and I think you're getting screwed around. I really do. And you do too. That's what the story you told me led me to believe that, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So the convenient thing is to settle it for some amount of money. You can afford 0 to 800. It's none of those numbers are going to kill you. Whatever you do, you get it in writing, and you staple it to all those emails in hard copy, and you keep it in a file the rest of your life, because these idiots may raise this up again as if you didn't pay it before or something. Because I'm not accusing the Italian government of anything, but I am telling you that debt buyers are the bottom feeders of this world. So there's a few of them that are decent, but most of them are scum.
Okay.
And so you're dealing with slimy. And so be careful. Don't get slimed. Get everything in writing. No electronic access to your checking account. Keep hard copies of everything when you're done. And then if it comes up again, you can defend yourself hypothetically from more hypothetical crap. Wow.